friends, welcome back. Today I'm setting up my March bullet journal and this month's theme is inspired by Smiskis. If you're unfamiliar with them, they're those tiny little glow-in-the-dark creatures that hide in corners of your home. So grab your journal, get cozy, and let's start setting up March together. For the cover page, I wanted something that felt soft, calm, and a little bit plant-filled, because what's March without some plants? Smiskis are known for hiding in corners of your home, like bookshelves, windowsills, and plant pots. So I thought adding plants would create that cozy little hiding spot vibe. If you've never seen them before, they're these adorable little figurines that come in blind boxes, and each one is doing some tiny everyday activity like stretching, lounging, hiding, climbing on things. They're small, quiet, and kind of shy, and I don't know why, but something about them just felt perfect for March. I think part of it is because lately I've been thinking a lot about personal growth and how sometimes growth doesn't look huge or dramatic. Sometimes it's just really small, like tiny habits, tiny improvements, and tiny efforts that no one really notices. So for this cover, I got these little guides around my title page, tucked behind over here, taking his daily nap over there. I really wanted this to feel cute and playful. I love drawing them because they're so simple. They're basically just green little blobs with personalities. And honestly, I kind of relate to them. There are these tiny little creatures quietly existing in the background, doing their own thing. And lately I've been feeling a lot like that. Just focusing on my own little routines, like journaling more, or trying to be a bit more consistent with things, and taking care of myself a little bit better. Nothing huge, just tiny but trying. Which I thought was the perfect quote for this month, because I think sometimes we underestimate how powerful small effort really is. Writing in your journal, even if it's just one sentence, showing up for yourself in small ways, and going to the gym even when you don't feel like it. And trust me, this is my biggest struggle at the moment. But these things add up, and that's kind of the spirit I wanted this whole spread to have. Because I thought there was so much green going on, I thought I could break it up a bit with a tad of organic brown. So I grabbed some packing paper that I still had around from my move last month to create a little mini title for 2026. And just to tie it together and make it not look like it was just tacked on there last minute, I added some washi tape and I think it sealed the deal. I can't believe we're already in the third month of the year, about to finish the first quarter. If I was employed, that would probably mean something, but now it's just another month, and just to help the 2026 stand out a bit more, I'm going to be outlining it with a white gel pen. For the quote page, I kept it pretty simple with 2 types of plants surrounding my quote for the month. I like to keep my quote pages a bit on the simplistic side to not try to overshadow the cover page. Also, I feel the simplicity of it really captures the essence of these simple little dudes. Looking back at it now, I regret not drawing some of them hiding in the plants. I realize now that that should have been so obvious, but what can we do about it now? No point in stressing about it, and I could always add it back in if I really wanted to. with the introduction to my month all finished, we can now move on. Next up is my monthly calendar spread. I kept this one pretty simple again because I like having a clear overview of the whole month. I stayed with my green color palette for March to match the Smiskis and the plants, so we're using lots of soft greens, olive tones, and a little bit of darker green for contrast. For the monthly title, I chose this serif style of lettering that has a little touch of playfulness to it. I love using serif fonts in my bullet journal because they feel a little bit more polished without being too complicated. I feel like these kinds of fonts are just my go-to, but I really do love how they make the spread look and feel. Part of me does feel like I should venture out to other styles of fonts to get out of my comfort zone, so maybe next month we'll see what happens. Down in the bottom corner, I drew this little grassy hill with a Smiski enjoying his nap with his pet cat, because honestly, I'm trying to remind myself to get a break in once in a while and not take things too seriously. So this little design choice is also a tiny manifestation to my overall month. Also, not so fun fact, I own like 2 Smiskis total. Does that make me a fraud, guys? Did I just expose myself really badly? I was contemplating doing this theme or not for the longest time. I feel that a true collector of Smiskis would do the theme justice. The reason I chose to do it was honestly because I really do like them and their aesthetic. I just can't afford to buy them any chance I get. Guys, I swear, I really do like these little guys. I'm just trying to juggle so many hobbies with my limited budget. So, in a way, doing this theme is just me coping for my lack of Smiskis and also combat the urge to buy these whenever I see them. So honestly, I kind of see this as a win-win. So here I'm adding my calendar grid, keeping it simple with the same layout I did last month. I really like this layout because it really just shows the overall outlook of the month, and I add my actual dates and notes on the right side of the page, so I don't have to stress over writing things out in tiny little boxes. I'm using my Tombow brush pen to highlight corners of each square where I'll write the date of each box. This really helps make the calendar pop out more and give it that pop of color. Then I used the fine line side of the pen just to add some grid detailing to tie everything together. I realized that the green I used for the weekday title boxes is too light, so to make them stand out more, I took out the same pen I used to color in the March title to color the first row of the calendar for the weekdays. I think this really helps tie the calendar together with all the other elements going on. For the right page, I added a month at a glance section that lists out the days in vertical order. This is where I would jot down my important dates or events for the month that's going on. I prefer this layout a lot more in certain cases because it really lets me see the important stuff front and center, and my mind kind of always worked in more of a list form anyway. So this kind of suited me perfectly, and to help visualize the weeks in this vertical calendar better, I'm highlighting the weekend days so I'll know exactly where Monday or Wednesday is relative to where the highlighted sections are. Now to add some plant elements to the spread, I'm outlining some leafage and binary with my green fine liner to make it all tie everything together more naturally. Here comes another Smiski. I think he's one of my favorites out of all the spreads. His position is so cutie patootie. It just looks like he's really admiring all the hard work I'm putting in right now, and for that, he is one of my favorites. These plants will start wrapping around the 2 boxes that I'll be adding to the spread. One will be for tasks and the other will be for notes that I may add if needed. This really helps organize my mind in the most optimal way for me personally. With the monthly calendar officially finished, let's move on to my favorite spread, the trackers. On the left side, I'm creating the habit tracker for the month. I'm kind of emulating the habit tracker layout I made back in August of last year, where I mark the habits I've done with a specifically colored dot. I'm just doing a miniature version of it so I can have some more space for my little guys because I want them to feel not so little for a change. This month I'm tracking 4 habits: taking my medication, journaling, posting my content, and going to the gym, because your girl is still trying to get her prime body physique for her late 20s. Like I said, instead of filling in the boxes completely, I'm using colored dots to represent each habit. So each habit has its own color, and every day that I complete it, I'll just add the matching dot. In the end, hopefully it'll just look like a beautiful mess of slightly different green dots. I like this method of habit tracking because it's really quick to update and it also creates this fun, colorful pattern over time. And honestly, these habits are part of that tiny but trying mindset too. I'm literally only going to the gym for like 30 minutes a day, 3 times a week, guys. And any personal trainer out there might think this ain't enough for an actual workout, but I really feel that it helps build my gym routine better and becomes less intimidating. I'll take 30 minutes a day over an hour of running, any day. I really just don't like running. Like I said, these themes can be tiny, but I'm still trying. To reinsert my organic brown accents, I'm doing the same style of title from my cover page, using a piece of brown paper and outlining the title with a white gel pen. For the mood tracker, I'm pretty proud of myself for coming up with this concept. I'm basically doing a bookshelf layout where each day will be represented by a single Smiski. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who in their right mind would willingly draw out 31 different Smiskis? And that person is sadly me. And if you're wondering, yes, my hand did start cramping around this time. Also, I found this really cool font on Pinterest that I really feel emulate the essence of Smiskis. It's still serifed, of course, with that added playfulness. It was literally right up my alley. I just couldn't resist. Trying to find 31 different Smiskis to draw out was too demanding of a task, especially when I only own 2 personally. So what I did to kind of cheat the system is to draw a specific position of Smiski 3 times, with one position getting an extra Smiski, which means there would only be like 10 types of Smiskis on the shelf, which you can kind of see when you start to look at it closely. It was for the sake of my mental health, guys. I think if I were to actually draw out 31 different kinds of Smiskis, I probably would have gone insane, or this video would just never get posted. Bullet journaling is still supposed to work for you after all, not the other way around. If you see your favorite Smiski here, let me know in the comments. One of my favorites to draw was the one laying on a pillow because it literally is just okay laying on the ground surrounded by other Smiskis, which I think is a vibe that I really relate to. Also, I thought it would be fun to make the key colors of my mood tracker be the heads of the Smiskis with the reaction of my tracked moods. Like, is that not adorable or what? With the trackers officially done, it means we are off to our last spread, the monthly visual board, and the playlist. For my visual board, I was inspired by Maphoria Journals, who made this 2025 vision board. I love the Polaroid aesthetic and thought it would be really cool to do my monthly mood board in that style. I like using visuals or mood boards at the start of the month because it helps me think about the overall energy I want the month to have. Specifically for March, I was thinking fresh, calm, growing, and grounded. Lots of greens, nature, and quiet routines. So I thought Smiskis would be the perfect theme to represent that, since they just simply exist in the background. Ironic, since I'm now giving them a spotlight. For my Polaroids, I'm starting with the outline using the same green outliner I've been using for the previous titles. When you start making more and more spreads for your theme, you start to get in a rhythm and start to know exactly what your next spreads need. Like at this point, for example, you can't see it, but I have piles of pens and markers that I've been using so far for the previous spreads. And it's those exact same pens and markers that I will now be using for this last spread. So the deeper you dive into your theme, the easier it'll be to make the next few spreads because you kind of already know what you're doing. And with all these same pens and markers lying around, it makes keeping everything cohesive that much easier. For the first Polaroid, I'm picturing the same cutie patootie from the monthly calendar, this time on a matcha latte. Just a fun little detail to add because I've been on a matcha obsession lately, so I thought it would be pretty fitting. The second Polaroid depicts a Smiski meditating in an open field, basically reminding me to take it slow and don't give myself a hard time about not making progress that fast enough, and that it's okay to do things in your own pace. The third Polaroid is just a goofy candid of a Smiski. If I'm being honest, I couldn't come up with another cute picture of a Smiski, and I was creatively running dry at this point, so I kind of improvised and just wanted something big and exaggerated to fill out the Polaroid frame. And honestly, I think it works well with the playfulness of the theme. And the last Polaroid is just a leafage and binary to represent the plants that add a natural element with the Smiskis. For the playlist, like I said, I was creatively running dry at this point, so I kind of took the easy way out. Please don't sue me. I took out my handy dandy photo printer and just printed out a few pics that were on my Pinterest board for the theme to kind of add to the overall vibe of the layout. This is not a sponsor at all when I say that this photo printer is my underrated best friend during times like these, when I just don't feel like drawing or coloring anymore and I just want to print out some cute photos and slap them on, because that can be okay too. If any of you guys ever watched High School Musical, the series, you'll probably notice a few of the songs I have selected for my playlist this month. Their entire series soundtrack has been on repeat for me lately. I don't know what they put in their songs, but it's just so addicting to me. Also, personal opinion maybe, Rising is an underrated bop. If you know, you know. And here we have the final flip through of my March bullet journal setup. If you enjoyed journaling with me today, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and you can follow me for more at Dilly Doom Journals on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Pinterest, and of course YouTube. Thanks for spending some time with me today, and I'll see you in the next one.